Hey guys, Jen with Astrology. Today we're talking about the astrology of August, and it does not cease to be electrifying. So much going on. We're going to go through all the different major aspects. I'm kind of focusing this video on the more uncomfortable aspects. So we're going to leave the sextiles and trines a little bit, focus more on the squares, conjunctions, full moons, new moons, all that kind of stuff. All the things that could cause a little bit more friction. So we're going to stick with those key aspects of the month, and lots of stuff building up and a lot of stuff again revolving around the election that's going on here in the United States. We had that Mars-Uranus conjunction right before the Republican National Convention last month in July, and this month we have all sorts of stuff going on right at the start of the Democratic National Convention. So I don't think that's going to be any less exciting. So really it's going to be fun to stay tuned. Now we're going to break these all down. I'm going to go through the month today, and then we're going to break it all down with smaller videos through the month. So be sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what you want to have me fine tune in the comments, and I would love to do that for y'all. And let's get to it. The month of August. Can you believe it? We're already halfway done with summer. So before moving into Virgo, so we have the first real aspect that's going to happen is, not aspect, but planetary motion is going to be on the 2nd, Venus squaring Uranus right before she moves into Virgo on the 4th. So she's going to square Uranus, and you're going to see cracks in relationships, and they really, because of that square, they're going to come wide open. So if you have an unsteady relationship with little cracks in it, expect them to get worse. Kind of like the windshield of my car right now that has a crack in it. I don't want to get it fixed because it's a Jeep, and Jeep have these little Easter eggs, and I just don't want to part with it. But this is, so I'm going to have to part with it. So this is what this square is all about. It's pretty much, you might not want to part with something, but the crack might get too big that you might not have a choice after a while. So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself first, and you're going to see things coming up. Venus moving into Virgo makes us a little more particular in relationships after being in that fun, loving, attention seeking. Hi, Jill. Leo, now you're getting a little more, particular, maybe a little, picky, maybe being, not as nice as you were because you're getting more serious. You're sick of the bullshit. You're just kind of cutting out what isn't necessary, and you might be a little, be overly critical, and so these might cause these cracks that might erupt a little bit. Relationships may, and this could be any kind of relationship. This could be in partnerships. This could be in your friendships, any kind of close relationships, personal relationships. We also have the new moon in Leo. That's really, that new moon is about who is going to be stepping into the spotlight. So this is Leo. Leo is about being the center of attention, being that, that one in the spotlight. Who is it going to be? As we see that the Democrats have changed who their nominee is. Is that person going to be elevated into the spotlight? Is that what it is? And is, happening really, these seeds being planted. We're going to see things, are we going to start seeing, this person growing or not growing? Is it going to shrink down and just kind of be hidden by those sun rays, even though they might want to shine, because that is, the moon is under the sun's rays. So, but who is going to emerge? And who's going to shine the brightest? So we'll look a little deeper into this as we get closer to that. On the 5th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde. So again, I did a video on this. Definitely check that one out. I got into a lot of detail about it because I think it's going to bring a lot of craziness, more than a normal Mercury retrograde. It's going to be extremely event-filled due to, you know, and during its pre-shadow, we already saw, you know, when it squared Uranus, and we saw some things come out then during its retrograde, it's going to be squaring Uranus again the day before the convention, the Democratic National Convention, and then after it goes to its post shadow, it's going to square it again. So that's 3 times Mercury squaring Uranus during its retrograde. So I think it's going to be a lot of exciting energy going on, a lot of shocks, a lot of surprises, a lot of news coming out. Anyway, I'll put a link to that video. Definitely check that out if you haven't yet. It's got a lot of information in there. On the 7th, we have our retrograding Mercury conjuncting Venus in Virgo. So along with the same day, we have the Sun sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury is strong even in the retrograde, I feel. So it's not, the retrograde isn't making it any weaker. It's making it a little stronger, a little more like going back, restarting things. And in Virgo, where we're rethinking our relationships, rethinking what we had thought before, what seemed logical before might not be what we're thinking is logical now. The Sun sextile Jupiter is encouraging us to really just like let go what is not needed, to move ahead onto bigger and better things. So it's just, it's that Virgo cutting out the fat, releasing, and then that's that, you know, the Sun sextiling Jupiter is moving ahead to what we really want, we really need, and, you know, bigger and better things, Jupiter. So, and, you know, that's lucky. So think, you know, if you have this affecting your chart, look for things to just kind of like fall out of the sky into your lap. So it's a very good luck kind of aspect. So again, you know, I think it's poignant on a national level as well, because of what we're kind of releasing, what we're kind of letting go of the past and moving on to a bigger and better future. A lot of that is going on in the Democratic side right now. So really interesting on how this is going to play out. Anyway, moving on. So, then the moon moves into Libra on the 8th, putting a lot more emphasis on these relationships. So the moon in Libra is like, okay, we're trying to find balance, and, you know, is this going to work? And trying to kind of maneuver our way around, trying to see things from both sides, trying to understand, you know, okay, is this going to be good? If, you know, are we only seeing it one way? But we have to be able to see it on either way. So the moon moves quickly, so, you know, what's fair and balanced? It moves then into Scorpio on the 10th. It gets a little bit more intense there. And then on the 14th, just after the moon moves into Sagittarius, we have Mars, and, you know, moon in Sagittarius can get a little bit preachy. So it's coming from that Scorpio, that deep down inner feelings, and then kind of broadcasting them. And then Mars will conjunct Jupiter. So, and that is followed by Mercury getting back into Leo during its retrograde. So moving out of Virgo and back into Leo. So I think this is a lot of initiating energy here, because it's changing, it's moving back, it's rethinking things. I think it's a lot of physical and mental strength that's going to be accentuated here. And that strength is needed to really get back up and climb back up into that spotlight, to restart and then like kind of maybe regain your strength back that you might have lost a little bit. To get back in balance, to get back in the spotlight, to get back on an even keel. Mars is like, it's kind of like a hatching of an egg, really going from a small space to an open big world. So it's kind of like that emergence feeling, like it's coming out, like, oh, like, look at me, you know, I'm getting out of this small kept up little area, and now I'm moving into a larger area. So as on the 16th, the same Mars in Gemini will square Saturn in Pisces. So here we start getting the roadblocks. All right. So, all right, we try to come out of our little cocoon, come out of our shell, but now we're getting those roadblocks thrown up. Though that's, you know, what we're working towards. And Saturn, it makes you put in the work. So it's not just going to be like, oh, okay, you want this, you can have it. Nope, you're going to do a lot of the work. So the Saturn, if you put in the work, you can get over those roadblocks. You can get over those obstacles that it's throwing in your way. It's not as easy as you might have previously thought it was. Like, things might have been going like really smoothly, and all of a sudden, like, okay, this isn't going so smooth. And again, I liken this to, you know, just in general, you know, this could not even be the case, but just throwing it out there because I liken it to what's going on in the Democratic Party. So they put the new nominee up, and all of a sudden they are putting her on a pedestal when a lot of times people were knocking her down before. So it looks like she's that shining star, but are things going to come up that kind of knocks that down a little bit? And especially with the Mercury retrograde squaring Uranus on the 18th, I expect that to really be something that's going to like throw some wrenches in there. And the Sun Mercury conjunction, we have two very interesting aspects happening regarding, you know, this these prominent women in politics, I think, especially. So I've looked into both their charts. We'll get into this a little bit more, I mean, as we go along, but definitely, again, subscribe and get notified so we get these videos, so you can get all these videos and see, you know, kind of get a sneak peek of what we think might be happening. So two very prominent women, Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. We'll look deeper into those because their charts are just illuminated on this day. There's a lot of stuff going on for both of them. So I think it'll be really fun to dig in because, you know, Hillary's just kind of never been super satisfied that she didn't win the last time she ran for president. So what's going to happen? What wrenches might be thrown in that might change things up? Because this is the biggest day, the 19th. So much stuff is going on. So we have the full moon in Aquarius, and it's in that Aquarius Leo axis. So that's like the shining star is going to come out, but there could be some, you know, something different, something unexpected, so that, you know, Aquarius kind of feel something, you know, I didn't expect that, something kind of oddbally that might come popping up. And I have everything written down here. So we have, you know, that Mercury. So, all right. And they both, okay. So both during, so Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, they both have this full moon aspecting both of their Saturns. So both can be particularly challenging, but I wonder if the Mercury-Uranus conjunction will be throwing a curveball again. So I think I find that really interesting because Saturn's all about how hard you work, what you deserve, and what Saturn's going to give to you if you put in the work. And so I think we're going to see some interesting things play out. I know Hillary Clinton's been kind of on the back burner, but I think all of a sudden she's going to come out of like wherever she's been. I know she's been on TV and everything, but I think in the Democratic Party, she's going to be really prominent, especially within this this convention that's coming up. Also going on this same day, we have on the 19th. So this is the first day of the Democratic National Convention. Don't forget, that's why I keep bringing it up. Venus will square Jupiter, and so that is about taking care of finances, financial things, getting things in order. You know, Venus squaring Jupiter, you know, something might come up. Is there going to be something with the stock market that's going to, because of some events that might happen that might cause some issues with the stock market? So you want to take care of your finances, kind of watch what you're doing with those, and you want to look at the big picture. This is Gemini, so you want to be, you know, and with Venus and Virgo, so this is a lot of mental, a lot of that mercurial that is really encouraging us to look at the big picture. You know, again, you want to be responsible. This is Virgo, so cutting out the fat, you know, take care of things, do smart, be responsible. And then Venus and Virgo, Then Jupiter in Gemini, it's thinking about those repercussions that might happen because of things that we've done. So you want to really basically cut out all the bullshit. So that's like what Virgo really always encourages us to do, is just kind of like, you want to fine tune, you want to get back down to basics, enough with the crap, get to basics, and just let's get serious and let's build from here. You want to really do that research, that really mercurial research. So, if you're hearing something coming out that doesn't sound quite right, and say like, I don't remember it being like that, this is the time that you want to look into it. Maybe look at some history, look back, because what you're being told might not be exactly what is going on. And they, the news does try to like flip things and make things seem like they one way when it's not one way. So really kind of, you want to pay attention, listen, and really get your mind straight so you're making a good decision moving forward. So you want to be mature, you want to be grown up about it, you don't want to just go crazy and, all these protests and everything. You want to do it in a mature, responsible way. You don't want to get anybody hurt. And that, that Mercury Uranus conjunction could really blow things up in not the Mars Uranus way, but in that square, but in the mercurial way where you're finding things out, and it's kind of that aha moment. And I think there's going to be a lot of aha moments come the middle of the month because of these Mercury Uranus conjunctions that keep just kind of illuminating things. And we saw that already. So definitely check that video out, because we go through all that, really fine tune what those aspects are all about, and how I think important they're going to be to the future of this country, pretty much. So the sun will also square Uranus and really just kind of blow up our plans. So again, this is why I think, because on this day so much is happening, I'm thinking, who we thought might be the nominee might not be. Someone else could be, because, this is Uranus is just like, flipping the switch, things are going to change, and that's what it does. So in the aftermath of all this, really, I think is that's really going to be, a lot of activity, a lot of intensity, because this is the stuff that we're going to have to get used to, because Jupiter squares Saturn then same day, again, all this happening on that same day, where we are really breaking down those old structures, our old beliefs. Jupiter is about the things that we believe in. Saturn is kind of about our morals or our upbringing or our foundations, how we're taught. And then, that Jupiter, like, this is what I believe, and that's preachiness kind of thing. All of a sudden, all that could be blown up with all these other aspects that are happening on that day. So it may almost feel like, you're like a butterfly trying to escape the net because you don't know what's going on. It's just like, I need to get out of here. I need to get away, because everything just seems like everything's closing in on me, but you need to break free. That's that, Jupiter needing to break free from that square with Saturn. This whole group of transits is about almost gaining that control back. It's about, what has really come off the rails, we need to reel it back in. And if you look at this country right now, this country has really come off the rails. Everybody is so polarizing, and it's just, we need to get back down to where we used to be, accepting of others, being able to have a discussion about things, and really just kind of, reconnecting with nature, disconnecting with, a lot of what we've just become so focused on, which is, our cell phones and that, we want to just come back down to earth, that Virgo. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plays out. And as it's all happening around the Democratic National Convention. So that's all going to be interesting. Hopefully there'll be no more shootings taking place. I don't see anything that's quite that extreme. So I'm glad about that. Hopefully it'll just stay that way. So anyway, astrology is really, this year, it's loving getting involved in all these politics. Astrology is just like, that puppeteer just playing with its little marionettes down here on earth, and just, putting on quite a show for all of us, I think. So on the 22nd, we welcome in Virgo season. So now the sun is in Virgo, time to really get that chaos under control again. This is everything building into that Virgo nature. Personally, look at yourself. Have you been taking care of yourself? Have you been taking care of your physical body? Virgo is about your health too, so you want to look into that. It's about your everyday routines, work, so you want to throw in some healthy things into those routines and work. So, maybe rethink your diet. Maybe you've been kind of going crazy over the summer. I know I have. We're grilling out all the time, burgers, hot dogs, all this fun stuff. Now it's time to kind of reel that in a little bit. Want to get a little healthier. Maybe now that it's getting cooler, get out, do a little exercising outside so you're not quite so hot, not quite so exhausted. Time to really take care of your physical body, take care of your everyday routines, and really fine tune. Also Venus will also be squaring Mars on the same day. So much stuff happening, in these just big bunches. And then we have a little bit of a lull and then a big bunch. So Venus will be squaring Mars. So logical, balanced actions, thinking before we act in a balanced way. So we want to do this with harmony, harmonize, ideas come, really like breakthroughs, because this is, just coming through very quickly, ideas. This is also, this Virgo squaring Mars in Gemini. So a lot of that mental energy going on right now during this. Again, what is imbalanced? Focus on getting balanced, level the playing field. I think, again, it's going to go into this politics, because I don't think this is going to subside until, then we have the election and all that. But I think this is going to be a really huge month as we move forward. So be careful, though, with tensions building in relationships, because we have that Mars, that Venus squaring Mars, so that can bring up tensions in relationships. Being overly critical, again, because we have that Venus in Virgo, nitpicky, going after someone, oh, you didn't clean that up, you left your socks out again, can't you just put them in the laundry? No. Before flying off the handle, you want to think about it. Is this really something that is that important that you want to fight about? Kind of that. So expect at the end of the month, feel a little more tense when it comes to relationship. Feel like, you might have that like, ugh, I hate him so much, but this too shall pass, like I always say. So things will come a bit as we get to the end of the month with transits. We have some nice things going on. We have on the 25th, we have a Venus in trine with Uranus. So that's bringing Uranus in kind of a happy way, instead of all these like squares and conjunctions and all this intensity. Great ideas, inspirations are coming like light bulbs, like boop, boop, boop. Because Venus also conjuncts Neptune on the 28th. So we have that heightened sensitivity that's giving us these ideas. It's giving us these feelings. The world is just starts seeming like beautiful again. Okay, things don't maybe seem that intense, and we can get outside and just enjoy nature like this and just enjoy it, because, you're seeing things with those glasses, those rose-colored Neptunian glasses that just make things look nice and beautiful. It's kind of like a filter on your camera. So just as Mercury starts stationing direct, then we are encouraged to push forward with our convictions. And I think that happens on the 28th. On the 28th when Mercury stations direct. So guess what that means? Pretty soon it's going to hit that conjunction again with Uranus. So we're encouraged, though, to push forward. Now, what did we learn? What did we fix? What did we reconfigure, in the world, in society, in ourselves? That's what we're going to move forward with. All those new ideas, beliefs, those things that we learn, that new knowledge that we've acquired, to not look at the past, to just stay away from the past and stop bringing up the things that, just keep always getting brought up. And we're going to move forward. We want to create new and better structures, new, better foundations for us as a country, as a person, as a society, as a couple, all that to grow on. We want it to improve the world around us So don't fall for lies. Don't fall for the bullshit. You want to be independent. You want to be independent in your thoughts, and you want to be logical and balanced and fair in your thoughts. You don't want to be sheep, because lemmings will never change the world. They'll just go along with the flow, and without even knowing why they're doing it, they're just doing it. So Venus trining Pluto on the 29th. So this is our passions at the forefront. Well, of course, trining Pluto, this is really just kind of like, that passionate, that deep down, you know, what we believe in. These are our, you know, this is me, and I'm not going to change. And this is Pluto, that's like, I want to transform everybody else, because this is what I believe in, our values. And what we have seen all over the US is, with this election draws closer, this is getting heightened. So people with their beliefs are, you know, getting a little more intense, and that's when more fighting could start again, unfortunately. But it's a trine, so hopefully it'll be in a more productive way, and a less you know, violent way, and a less, you know, people spray painting statues and disrupting property, and that. It's just, you know, Pluto is about to move into Capricorn then for its last time before we're ready to let go of that old way and pave the way really for our new and changing world that's ahead of us. And so it's going to be fun to watch. So again, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe and get notified, because knowing the astrology will really help us all to navigate with that forewarning of what to expect. It's like, okay, we're getting to the 19th. I know all this stuff's going to be going on. I think I'm just going to stay in the house today. I think I'm going to, you know, maybe watch something separate from my husband so we don't start an argument or something like that. You know all this stuff, so you know how to prepare for it. So, you know, keep your eyes open, know your surroundings, because again, things could get intense around us, but keep your mind even more open to that enlightenment and that positivity. I'd love to hear your comments. Let you guys let me know what y'all think is how this is going to play out, what you want me to kind of focus on for my next videos. And please tell a friend so we could spread the word about the channel, so we can all grow together. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.